How's it? Welcome back. So I was watching one of the most popular YouTube channels on YouTube, Moist Critical. I'm going to assume that the extreme majority of people out there know who he is. He got like 16.9 million subscribers, been on YouTube forever. His actual channel name is Penguin Z0, and I do think that's how you're supposed to say it. But anyway, I was watching one of his videos today, and he titled it "I Hate Insomnia" because he's been dealing with insomnia his whole life. And he also points out in this video that he's tried essentially everything possible to try and deal with it over the years, but nothing has worked. But of course, when he's listing some of the stuff he's tried, he never mentioned hypnagogic meditation because basically nobody mentions that shit, pretty much except for me. So of course I commented on there, like, oh, try this whole stage 1 of sleep hypnagogic meditation thing. So on the slim to none chance that he sees that comment and wants to look more into it or go to my page, even though I've covered this tons of times on the channel, I figured I would shoot a quick video on it right now so that it's towards the top of the list if he happens to come to my channel. Anyway, before getting into the actual technique, he does point out that he's a very light sleeper, right? Such as am I, right? The slightest noise wakes him up. But he also doesn't want to be like a super heavy sleeper. So a super simple solution to at least that part of it is sleep with earplugs, right? They have different types of earplugs that block out more noise than others. Like, I don't know if you can see this here, but like these rubber type, they kind of just muffle the sound. They don't really block too much. So if you don't want to be super deaf, you can give those a try. If not, these super soft tip type can be good too. And also you can cut the back off and it will kind of let a bit more noise in. Although don't cut them too short or that shit can get kind of stuck in your ear, which is kind of scary if that tends to happen. And so, yeah, that stuff aside, some of the other problems that give him insomnia, he lists a bunch of stuff. Like, he's not a very anxious person, but sometimes his mind is just kind of racing too fast, so that keeps him awake. Also, restless leg syndrome, and I don't have no solution for that. That restless leg syndrome shit sucks. I get that sometimes as well. But at least for like the overactive mind, this whole hypnagogic meditation approach, I think can work amazingly well. So all the hypnagogic state is stage 1 of sleep stuff, right? We're going to pass through it every time we're falling asleep. And so like a good way to kind of set a blueprint for you to follow, since he said that he can fall asleep really easily in the daytime, is you want to find times where you can fall asleep quick, and then as you're doing that, be paying specific attention to the falling asleep process, right? Like, what position are you in? Kind of the thoughts that are going through your mind, how your body feels. Pay attention to all of that and kind of use that as your blueprint to carry over into nighttime when you're trying to fall asleep. And so really just the kind of general gist of it is you want to get into a position that is comfortable and commit to not moving as best you can for like at least an hour. If your mind is racing, you can find an object of attention to latch your awareness to, which, you know, can be hard to do, I guess, if you've never really tried this. Of course, having a daytime meditation practice can kind of help with this. A simple one you can throw in there is like follow your breath, right? But I like to follow my breath in a specific way and just kind of give me one point within that breath to return to a specific state. So as you inhale, think about whatever you want. Of course, breathe through your nose, try to slow your breathing down. I'd say like 6 breaths a minute or less if you can, but it's got to be comfortable. Then at the very bottom of your exhale, kind of, if you're wearing earplugs too, you can kind of hear your heartbeat and feel it a bit better. At the very bottom of your exhale, in between your heartbeat, when it's at its slowest, just try to, in that one moment, turn off, drop everything, and play dead. Inhale, think about whatever you want. At the bottom, drop and play dead. And then what this whole hypnagogic state is, it's when your mental thoughts and images can start to actually become visual. Now, it's not like a REM style dream where you're in it in the first person. It's probably going to be more just like a flash of an image that is visual in some sense. So most of the time, that first flash of an image will come up at the very bottom of the exhale. When you see that, you know you are entering into stage 1 of sleep. You know, inhale, disappears, whatever, it doesn't matter. At the bottom, try to find another flash of a picture, rinse and repeat that. Then eventually that flash of a picture will stay there longer. Then eventually it will build out to where instead of being like a still image, it will be like a moving image. And then you're in stage 1 of sleep. And boom, there you go. It's that simple. One of the other good things about doing this too, just because my channel is about lucid dreaming, you're kind of working the same mental muscles there. So then you can kind of get, you know, kind of this liminal lucid dreaming state, and then the same mental muscles you're using there can then start to help you if you happen to get lucid later on at night when you're in a, you know, like a REM style dream. And then the last thing I'll close it off with too is you said when he did go to sleep, he fell asleep for like an hour when he initially lied down. Then he woke up and then was stuck with insomnia. And so just A little side note that can happen sometimes when you're dealing with insomnia, and this is a lot easier for men than it is for women, but pretty often what actually happens sometimes is you're dreaming of actually being stuck awake in bed dealing with insomnia, but you actually are asleep. And so if you want a good way to check to see if that's happening, just check in your pants, because when men hit RAM, you get erect. So that's just a little tidbit I'll throw in there. But yeah, you can give that a try. And yeah, that is it. And of course, if you want to know more about it, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help. But yep, that is it. Until the next video, keep your sleep practices legit.